Distributech 2023, one of the sponsors of these interviews, and these are interviews with thought leaders from around North America and the globe. Our sponsors are H2 Scan. H2 Scan is the leading sensor manufacturer for hydrogen sensing in a lot of different applications, in transformers, in battery room safety, in processes and safety, in industrial, and in the future hydrogen economy. So I want to thank our sponsors, and I want to thank all of our guests, and I hope you enjoy this interview. My next guest is Davasli. Eddie is the head of Trench North America for transformers, bushings, instrument transformers, and coils. What a job. Welcome and thank you for joining me. How did you first get into the industry, the power industry?
Yeah, actually it's my 15th year in career.
Okay.
I started my career with an electrical design engineer for power transformers in Turkey for a local transformer manufacturer. And then I moved to Siemens at 2010 for a sales job for transformers. Then, yeah, within the years I took few roles in sales management, and 3 months ago I've joined Siemens Energy US team for head of sales, bushings, instrument transformers and coils business here. Yeah, in total. But my background is generally transformers, high voltage equipments, and sales.
And you're headquartered in Raleigh, right?
Yeah, we have factories in Canada, coils factory in Canada. We have instrument transformers factories in Canada for North American market. But we have a transmission grid technology office in Raleigh. And I relocated from Istanbul to North Carolina, Raleigh.
Quite a change.
Yeah, it's a big change.
But Istanbul is a beautiful, vibrant city, and Raleigh is a fast-growing, beautiful,
Yes.
vibrant
Yeah,
city.
I like
So,
both.
as you look at as your customers as a whole, utility customers as a whole, but you're also OEMs. Well, Siemens is one of your customers, I assume. You make bushings for Siemens, right?
Siemens Energy.
Siemens Energy.
Yes.
Okay. You have to say that word energy now, right? Nobody
Yes.
just says Siemens
Yes,
anymore.
that's a different company
all
now.
of the big ones have to have the energy behind it. But you also make product for them, correct? Okay. You make product for the industry as a whole. What do you see are the big challenges that the utility industry is facing right now?
Yeah. Well, ultimately, the major challenges our society and of course our customers are facing is the climate change, and we are offering solutions and products for decarbonizing our planet, reducing the climate change and lowering the CO2 footprint. And for that, we need to modernize our grids, and we need to deliver some innovative and environmental friendly products to support our customers to reach their goals. And this is what Trench is standing for, actually.
Right. The grid modernization has been around for a long time, right? We know we had to do it. It is speeding up faster than ever because two things. Back during COVID, one of the biggest problems was supply chain. That problem is still here today, and I want to address that, see how it affects you. But another problem is demand curve. The demand for power is going up. Electrification of transportation, electrifying houses, everything's moving, and it's moving faster than it ever has. Utility industry has been reluctant to change. Now they're being forced to change, and decarbonization is one of it. And as a result of decarbonization and a lot of wind and solar, you now have problems in the grid that you didn't have before, quality problems in the grid. You have problems with the assets that you're asking them to do more. Transformers become inverter-based rather than, so you're right in the middle of all that with coils, with instrument transformers, and with bushings. How is Trench handling all of that change on behalf of your customers?
Yeah, actually, we are handling these challenges while offering our product systems and solutions. And We recently launched our holistic approach named Regenera, which is a sustainable approach for our products and solutions. And the aim is reducing our environmental and social impacts of our products in the market and supporting our customers to reach their environmental targets.
How do you do that? How do you reduce the environmental impact of your
Actually,
products?
it's beyond our products. It's not only using some environmental friendly materials. It's beyond our products. It's also including our manufacturing processes, lowering our CO2 footprint, and economically and environmental friendly products are helping our utilities to reach their targets. Actually, this is what are we standing for.
One of the other problems that we've seen is staffing shortages, because where supply chain issues last year were about materials, supply chain issues today are a lot about labor, getting more people. Is Trench experiencing that? And if so, how do you overcome it?
Yeah, well, during pandemic, it caused a major disruption in all over the world actually, and also in the United States labor force. I read an article about this, and I remember that in 2020, 47 million workers quit their jobs in research of better work-life balance or increased compensation or stronger company culture. And we also had in the first year of pandemic, we see that there was a sharp decrease in the energy jobs, transmission jobs. But in the last 2 years, we see a growth in the energy jobs. But one thing is changed, which is skill set requirements. We are talking about energy transition, and in parallel with that, we are looking for a new labor force, which has a different skill set, like digitalization, like this, able to manage this energy transition, like the new generation sites, new verticals, and new sales skill sets. This is what we're looking actually in the market. And we saw the demand is increasing, the market is demanding, and we saw that there will be a growth in the labor force. The market is shifting, the skill sets are shifting.
Yeah. Instrument transformers, they seem to be becoming more demand for them and more important in this whole part of the grid. Talk to me a little bit about why instrument transformers are more important in this grid modernization.
Yeah, because they are in the heart of the substations. They are used for the protection. They are used in the metering and measuring. And we saw substation business, high voltage businesses increasing in the North American market. And Trench having the largest install base in North America, and Trench has the advantage of managing customer priorities. And we are pioneer of these technologies, and we can, let's say, we are focusing clean air instrument transformers. We are focusing on dry type air core shunt reactors, which is an alternative for historically oil-filled shunt reactors. And we have several new products within this Regenera toolbox to support our customers. And within this toolbox, we see that transmission industry as selecting their most appropriate solutions from our portfolio.
What impact on the distribution system is Regenera having, or is it on the distribution?
It's normally our products are for high voltage. It's for it's above 69 kV. Our products are for transmission utility, we can say.
Addressing again the labor issue, you have a plant in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. You have a plant in the U.S.
We don't have plant in U.S.
You just get to live in Raleigh. Isn't that sweet? Okay. Where's your plant in Canada?
In Scarborough.
Just outside of Toronto.
In Ontario.
Yeah. I grew up in Toronto, so I know it very, very well. Know Scarborough very well. Used to play hockey against the Scarborough. I played for Guelph against Scarborough. So the Canadian manufacturing, I would call it their pedigree, right? They really do a great job at that skill set that we call, skilled craftspeople, skilled tradespeople. Is that still true? Because I imagine that's what you've got to have at Trench to be able to manufacture all of these things. That's been a historical Canadian strength.
Yeah, this year we celebrated 60 year of our factory in our Coits factory, and Trench is a Canadian born brand actually, and we can say currently we have a full diverse team. We have several, I'm Turkish, we have several nationalities in our factory, and we are growing with this let's say diversity in our factory, and we are doing a great job in labor side, we can say.
Having been in this industry enough years now, I get to ask you the question about what are the storm clouds? We know what the problems are today. It's still supply chain, labor issues, demand curve, accelerating rapidly, geopolitical things. What happened in Ukraine changed a lot of how Europe thinks about power. So we kind of know all that today, but if you look 10 years ahead, what do you see 10 years ahead? You're a senior leader, so you have to look 10 years ahead. What are the storm clouds on the horizon?
Yeah, I see this, in the beginning I told you, I see that challenge is climate change. It will affect, in 10 years later, it will affect more than today. And we will see that all, let's say, for even Trench, we have a mission and vision to have 100% climate neutral portfolio in 2050, which means we will change our manufacturing processes, we will change our portfolio in the upcoming years, and we need to do that. And as a leader of the market, this is our main task to support our customers accordingly. And I see these challenges as a climate change and decarbonization.
Canada seems to be more aggressive in somewhat of their pushing towards a 2050 climate neutral kind of an environment. The U.S. is getting there. We just passed the Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, stupid name. It had nothing to do with inflation.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's political. But given the amount of money and the fact that now we have some policies in place where it used to be if you were in the wind or solar industry, you had to wait every year to see if you would get refunding. You could never make long-term plans. Now we have a 10-year roadmap, if you will. We've got a launching pad to do that, which has helped wind and solar a lot. But is there a difference between Canadian policy and U.S. policy, or does it not matter to
Yeah,
Trench?
I can compare it with Europe. Normally, we can say in Europe, it's coming earlier than North American market. I mean, for decarbonization and regulations, and for the incentive topics.
Partly because of the war in Ukraine, or
Yeah,
accelerated?
it also affect, but it started a few years ago. Before the war, it started. They had some more regulations about this decarbonization, and even some of the countries have this SF6 exit directions. And we see North American market is more traditional, but this is a fact. We cannot escape from that, and we'll need to modernize our grids accordingly. This is clear for our world.
As we're speaking right now, I know you're from Turkey, and there's been a terrible earthquake. But my sympathy with you. I wish your people well, because it's a devastating problem. But it also points out a problem. Earthquakes, fire, hurricanes, tornadoes, these problems are increasing. And how do we build a resilient grid when we don't know what all of these problems are, right? I mean, nobody planned for, because I imagine in that part of Turkey, you've got a lot of the infrastructures now just destroyed. So I'm sorry for the loss of what's happening in your country, but at the same time, we have to be prepared for those to happen anywhere. So how is Trench looking at that, as opposed to just decarbonization, resilience of the grid?
Of course. First of all, I would like to send my condolences, and it's for Turkey, and it's really terrible days for us. It's a black days in these days. Yeah, and even I'm quite distracted at the moment. I'm always thinking about my country and so on, and we need some help from global countries. Anyhow, yeah, let me come back to the topic.
Okay. No, that is the topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for trench, of course, resilience of the grids is important for us. We have several solutions for that, especially for North American market. We have one reference project last year, which is for arc suppression coils, which is targeting these wildfire mitigations. Actually, this is the first use the first example in North American market actually.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Good for we're in California. We're
Yeah,
a wildfire
it's in the,
country.
yeah, it's in the West Coast. Hopefully next year we will be installing that. And I can say, even for the seismic topics, we are always in touch with the standards initiators. We are discussing with the utilities, and we are trying to support them in speccing activities. Also, we are trying to build our portfolio according to the highest seismic requirements. We have a nice portfolio for resilience of the grid, and of course for earthquakes and wildfire mitigations.
Okay, that's excellent. So my guest has been Ege, and Ege, thank you so much for joining us, and best wishes for you, best wishes for Trench, and best wishes for Turkey and that part of Syria that had the damage.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. This has been an APC Technologies production, and we thank you for joining us. Our sponsors have been H2 Scan and Distributech, and of course, the communities of APC Technologies, which is Transform Technology, Power Systems Technology, Green Energy Technology, and Women in Power Systems. So thank you.